I didn't have to do all that. I kind of I kind of wanted a cool intro, and then I got carried away. But hey, it was pretty cool. Anyways, the Easter update came out recently, and I remember playing it with a couple of pros, couple of sweats. We got pretty far. We got to floor 164. So I wanted to showcase some of the moments, and then obviously the map. I know I'm just on time, guys, so hope y'all enjoy. Goodbye. Also, like and subscribe and stuff. Like and subscribe. Yeah. Alright, here's how we're gonna go about this. I'm first gonna rate every individual tune and twisted added to the update, and then I'm gonna go over the map, and then finally I'm gonna go over any small details like the shop, maybe the lore if I'm feeling like it. And yeah, so let's start with Exxon. Exxon is the common tune of this update. Much like Rudy in the Christmas update, he has all the same stats of 3, and he gets a small little ability called Fixer Upper, which lets him hit any machine for 10% completion rate. It's not bad, I wouldn't say it's great, but it helps completing machines faster, so I can't really say much about that. But when we compare it to Boxton or even Rudy's abilities, I still think Boxton is the better alternative, but that doesn't mean Exxon is bad. Exxon is really good, but there are just better alternatives. But if you want to play Exxon, go for it. As for his design, I thought when I first saw the little sneak peek he was gonna be a bear. But the egg design is still really funny to look at. But I think one of the best parts about Exxon is his skin.
I'm running all over the place, blue in the face, looking like Sonic. Got up on stage around 9, and the next day they called it iconic. In between that, I was off for some time, and rockin' on in a pack of the chronic. Bring that to a beat. Shit is bubonic.
Anyways, let's look at Exxon's twisted counterpart, which is nothing special. I have a little footage of him right here. He's just another normal twisted with no real special ability, so you don't really gotta worry if you're distracting him. So overall, Exxon gets a 4 out of 5 times 10. Flight. Flight has really good stats. He has 4-star movement speed and 4-star extraction speed. But then again, he has 2-star skill check and 2-star stamina, which doesn't pair well with what he's good with. And then when we look at his ability, it's very similar to that of Tisha's, except it stays there for a while for everyone to use. And also he can get that speed boost himself, unlike Tisha. Overall, although Flight isn't necessarily bad, he leaves a lot to be desired. Again, I just feel like Tisha does it better, but if you don't have Tisha, Flight is an amazing tune. Has great movement speed, can work as a backup distractor, and is a great extractor as well. And then we look at Flight's skins. Flight has really cool skins. I like the vintage, and then his cosmic one looks really nice too. I think the pink and white fits him really well. And then when we look at his design, it's a chill design, low calm design. I like his little goofy run. I think the pink and blue colors match really well. And it's cool to think that Flutter has siblings. It's like the Cole and Pebble dynamic all over again. But then let's look at his twisted counterpart. Unfortunately, like Exxon, he is not much of a threat. He's just like any other twisted, except he's a bit slower from what the wiki tells me. So don't be afraid. But overall, Flight gets that rating of, 6.5. Kokoa! Kokoa is an interesting tune because she has 4-star movement speed, but she can't really use it because she has 4-star stealth. And that's a recurring issue with the other tune I'm going to talk about next. But she plays more as a support tune. She has her ability called Bonbon, which allows her to place these little bonbons for tunes nearby to pick up. They're really good for extractors, and they actually help distractors as well when they're struggling with stam. But her machine doing is kind of whack because she has 2-star extraction speed and then only 3-star skill check. So she's not doing machines any quicker than that of a Boxton or a Tisha. But overall, I love her design. The bunny theme for Easter fits extremely well. And then her skin, purple bunny. Purple bunny.
I am purple.
Now on to what really PMO'd me off about Kokoa. Her Twisted. Her Twisted is the same speed as Toodle, but bro, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Why is Kokoa faster? Kokoa just seems faster. Like I struggle distracting V and Kokoa at the same time. So she's actually a threat. So some tips I have if you want to distract Kokoa is just treat her like Shelly or Toodles. Sprint tap every once in a while when she's getting a little too close, because she'll catch up real quickly. And don't be fooled by those hops. She's still technically the same speed as Toodles. So, and also remember to distract in straight paths, because that's when you maximize your speed. So straight paths. But yeah, overall rating for Kokoa, we're gonna give it an 8 out of 31. Bassie. Bassie is the new main tune from the Easter update, and I'm not gonna lie, she's really good. Although she's not meta changing good, she's extremely viable in certain team comps, like that of Louis comps. Her new ability called Easter Basket gives her an extra inventory spot for items, and it pairs extremely well with her second ability called Springful Sharing, which lets her drop items from her inventory, which she has 4 of. Then when we look at her stats, she has 5-star movement speed, the same as Pebble, and 4-star stamina, which would technically make her the best distractor if it wasn't for her stealth, which she has 4 of, which makes it really bad for her to be a distractor. And as for her extraction speed, she only has 2 stars and a 1-star skill check, the same as Pebble, or even slower. Overall, Bassie functions more as a support tune. I see it in many team comps that Bassie can bring items to distractors who need stam support or any support in general to just help them distract. Also, she can technically function as a backup distractor. Just any other extractors are gonna have to be really careful not to get in her way because of her low stealth. But there's one thing that I forgot to mention, and that is the bone trinket, which works extremely well with her. Because the bone trinket allows for you to gain speed every time you pick up an item, Bassie is getting an unlimited amount of speed, like shown here, which can lead to her distracting Twisted Pebble like nothing. Although it's a bit gimmicky, it can work. Now onto her Twisted counterpart. Bassie can be annoying at times because her ability is that she places these flowers that slow you down drastically all around the floor, and they stay there all throughout the floor. And these are really annoying because they can be placed on places where you would normally distract, so you're gonna have to adjust. So just be careful when distracting her with multiple combos, because sometimes the flowers will be there on a spot where you usually distract. So just be ready to adapt if needed. But overall, if you can avoid them and reach a good place, you should be good. Bassie in herself is a little bit faster, as the wiki says. I think she's around Yada speed. Not as fast as Toodle, but a bit faster than the average Twisted. Overall, I love the tune design, and the skins she got match her really well. And I love her Twisted design as well. I love the split personality she has, with one being really evil while the other one is chilling like a villain. But anyways, we're gonna give Bassie a final rating of 80 out of 8.
Let me know.
Map. The new Easter map called Spring Boutique, I believe, is a very well designed map. There are lots of distracting spots that you wouldn't expect to be extracting spots, like those small rock islands where you can distract Twisted Pebble and most mains on. It also has long straight pathings for you to distract harder combos like V and Astro. But putting my view as a distractor aside, I love how it looks. I wouldn't say the map is extremely cramped or large, although the pebble spots are kind of hard to distract on. Once you know where they're at, you'll be able to distract them just fine. But overall, the map's colors and aesthetic fits exactly the Easter vibe. And there's something even better. Grass. The tunes touch grass. Confirmed. But anyways, final rating of the Easter map, 7.5 out of 10. Actual honest rating, 7.5. 7.5. Everything else. Now for everything else. In the Easter update, in order to get the tunes, you would need to collect baskets, which is much like the Christmas update's ornaments. And I never had a problem with it. I was like, oh, okay. It's a cool feature that makes the game a lot more interesting. But also the shop was changed to Bassie selling the tunes, which look really cool. I always like it when updates like these are able to change the entirety of the game somewhat. So that was also cool to see. But no special music like Christmas, so minus points right there. Overall, it was a pretty good update. Can't really complain. So the update gets a final rating of 2 out of 10. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Let me know if I missed anything about the Easter update, because I recorded this a long time ago. I just barely got to editing. Okay, but anyways, my next coming videos will be the 10K special. I have got all the comments ready, so stay tuned for that. And also, my YouTuber run POV will be coming out soon as well. Big news for WLSG. But most importantly, I have a TikTok. Check out my TikTok. I post there daily. So if you got any questions about distracting, just let me know on the TikTok and I'll probably answer it. So now, bye bye.